This is the MCS Television Network, KFHS, Friendswood.
I'm Charlotte Stevens. This week on Friendswood Update, the high school fire dominates the news and Friendswood was hit with heavy rains. I'm Jennifer Waldner. In sports, the juniors and seniors get ready for Powder Puff.
I'm Paige Morgan. Also, FFA goes to the county fair and we'll check into the drill training tryouts. These stories and more next on Friendswood Update.
We've got a fire here in the Friendswood High School. It began, I guess, a little more than an hour ago, or it was reported to us. The fire damage, the school is heavily charged with smoke, and of course the damage is still continuing as long as the smoke's in the building. That's why you see the people still urgently working, trying to rid the building of its smoke, and there'll be troops working for several more hours, overhauling or making sure that all the small fires are out in the mall and also in the auditorium area.
We hope that there was no damage to classrooms. We don't feel like there was at this time. As far as we know, it was one of the malls, eating area, and some of the office area, and the auditorium itself that was damaged.
This is really heartbreaking because we just finished a real serious flood damage claim. Our building just got refurbished and was made completely new in the same area that the fire has destroyed.
So what are y'all going to do now?
Well, we're going to start over and rebuild again.
It was a night to remember. The Friendswood Fire Department responded to the fire with over 30 personnel, 3 engines, 3 ambulances, and a rescue truck. A call for mutual aid was made to surrounding counties, communities, and everyone came to help out.
The fire has dominated the news in the Friendswood area the past week. We will look at the fire from several viewpoints and tell you everything that you could possibly want to know about the fire.
John Dawson was on the scene within 20 minutes of the first alarm. He fills us in on the night of the fire.
We had a fire here tonight, Friendswood High School auditorium. Most of the fire was confined to the front of the auditorium, and some spread to the mall area. There was extensive smoke damage to that end of the school, a fair amount of heat damage, a lot of water damage. There was smoke throughout the entire building. At this time, we're searching the entire building to make sure there's nobody in there. We're going to be here quite a while yet.
Obviously, we've got a fire here in the Friendswood High School. It began, I guess, a little more than an hour ago, or it was reported to us. The building was occupied at the time. We've made a primary search and haven't found anybody yet. The firefighters are making a secondary or a more thorough search at the present time. The fire is knocked down. In fact, it's probably completely out now. They're doing property conservation, stopping some of the water leaks from broken pipes in the building. The fire damage, the school is heavily charged with smoke, and of course the damage is still continuing as long as the smoke's in the building. That's why you see the people still urgently working, trying to rid the building of its smoke, and there'll be troops working for several more hours, overhauling or making sure that all the small fires are out in the mall and also in the auditorium area.
This has been John Dawson reporting, MCS News.
After the busy night on Thursday, Friday morning brought on a lot of work. There were decisions to be made. Adam Hill was there early to get reactions of both students and faculty.
Saturday morning, the halls were filled with officials and administrators assessing damage. The damage was evident. It was just a matter of time until the cleanup crew could be put into effect. Walter Wilson was on campus throughout much of the incident.
Well, I would just like to add, from the school standpoint and the community standpoint, we really appreciate what all of the volunteer fire departments around the area did last night. And you guys were on the scene, I know, but They came in here and just did a tremendous job to contain this blaze, and this could have been really a major disaster for our community, but they did a great job.
Many teachers reported to school as usual on Friday morning to look at the damage. Jim Kinnemer had this reaction.
It's a mess. A lot of heat, a lot of smoke and soot. All the computers, all the audiovisual equipment, everything's going to be clean. It's a good thing we only got a month of school left.
The students were also greatly affected by the fire.
I was shocked and disappointed. The first thing that runs through your mind is graduation, and we're supposed to have spring show tomorrow night, and it was a real disappointment. It's really sad that something like this happened.
Vance Riley is a fire marshal in Friendswood.
I'd like to hope that all of the students and faculty and staff understand that this is one of the reasons we have fire drills and why it's so important that everyone be just as quiet as possible and get outside as quickly as possible, because of the fact that fire burns very quickly and there's just no telling how much time you really have. This can happen in such a short amount of time. So from now on, I hope fire drills have a different meaning for everybody here.
Smith Adam Hill, MCS News.
After the fire Thursday, the cleanup began. Brandy Urbanowski was there to catch the action, clean up some of the rumors.
I'm Brandy Urbanowski, standing in front of what used to be the high school auditorium at Friendswood. Last night, around 9 o'clock, fire struck the building. There's been severe damage, and we don't know exactly how extensive the damage will be once it's all told up, but it's expected to be quite a bit of money. How much damage, money-wise, has been done to the school?
Of course, I have no way of really knowing. I would say probably in excess of $1 million.
Do you think that it's going to be a little testy asking for more money after we just had the school covered by flood insurance?
That's a very good question. I will assume that our insurance people were not really prepared nor wanted another very heavy claim at this time, nor would we have wanted a very heavy claim at this time. And yes, I think there will be some impact on our future insurance needs.
I felt a lot of heat and a lot of smoke. That was the biggest thing we saw the most, was a lot of smoke. And when we came in a little bit further, we did have flames on that wall right behind you. Webster's unit came up on the roof. They had the vents in this place opened up, so it did a pretty good amount, let smoke up through the roof. Everything else in here, from what we could see, it did a lot of smoke damage to the inside, but main point is in this area of the hall. There's not much done from what we can see on the roof yet.
The fire ended last night between 1:30 and 2 o'clock. However, the cleanup crews will remain here throughout this weekend, trying to get things ready for school on Monday. This is Brandy Urbanowski reporting on the fire, MCS News.